Hello, hello. I see April and RJ and Coco. Hello, ladies. We'll get going here in just a minute. Hopefully you can hear me. Because, you know, that's always the fear that we don't have sound. But I think I do, because I think I just heard myself. Oh my gosh. Oh. So I hope everyone is having a nice weekend. It's been busy over here. Awesome. Thank you, Coco. Yeah, it's been busy over here. I've been just running the glow forge like nonstop and sitting down here with the noise canceling headphones on, and they're not enough. Oh my lord. This for a swap. Oh, that's right. You do swaps, don't you? I haven't done swaps in like forever. I used to occasionally sign up for them and do them, and I literally, it's probably been 4 or 5 years since I've done one. But that's fun. Those are fun. Those I always enjoyed doing those because it was always so neat to see what other people end up, you know, sending. Okay, hopefully we're good here. 1 second. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Janice. Okay. All right, so let's get going. Hopefully, that's giving me some warning on. Oh no, maybe we're okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get going here. And I just lost my train of thought because that's literally how my entire day is gone. The glue I was using for the one of the new tools that I'm going to show you, literally gave me the worst headache. And yesterday it wasn't bothering me, so I don't know what the deal was today, but for whatever reason today it was driving me nuts. So let's start with it. Oops, I'm throwing things all over the place here. All right, so I had kind of previewed these a couple weeks ago, and I'd had to make some changes that my measurements weren't quite right. So these are matting spacers. So the whole idea with these is to be able to more evenly line up your matting on your projects. These are going to be fabulous for cards. Cards are where I tend to get things crooked where it actually kind of matters. Like, I don't worry as much like on my albums and stuff, but cards, it's like a big deal. So what these are, they are about 4x4, and there are 3 different sizes on here. One has a 1/16 of an inch, one has an 1/8 of an inch, one has a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so the basic idea is, so I've got a 4x6 here. If I'm using my smallest one, and there's 2 ways you can do this. You can use them with this little, I don't know, this little rim face down. So you're lining it up at the corner of your project on the outside edges, and then sliding your matting underneath. Okay. Or, and as I've kind of played with these yesterday and today, it's actually almost easier. We're just going to use temporary adhesive to use them with that little raised side up, because it gives you something to kind of hold on to. Laying your, I don't know if it was on, laying on here straight would help, huh? Laying this on, putting it in the corner, and then sliding this out, and then you would glue your you would glue your mat down. Okay, so that would be the smallest one. 1 second here. The next size down, the 1/8 of an inch. So basically, the 1/16 of an inch is what you would use if you are cutting your matting 1/8 of an inch smaller than your page or your pocket or whatever it is you're matting. Okay, that's where this one comes in. The 1/8 of an inch would be when you're cutting your matting 1/4 of an inch smaller than your page base. So again, just lining this up, get it about where it needs to go, and there you go. Okay, and then the 1/4 inch one would be if you were cutting your matting 1/2 an inch smaller than whatever it is you're trying to mat. And this one really is more intended for like cards and card fronts, because that's typically about the measurement I use when I am doing a card front. So there you go. Super easy, super fun. These I will be turning up or making live on the website right now. And I will drop a link in the chat here in just a second. Grab it. Okay. All right, so there is the link for the spacers. The other thing I've got in there, I've got the album cover spacers have been restocked, and the tag tool has been restocked. So both of these are back on the website. I think this one I knew I was down to 1, so I think I got them like restocked before it actually ran out, but these have been out for like a couple of weeks, and I just got them recut and back on the site this weekend. So tag tools are out there, cover spacers are out there. The other new one I have is 2 new sizes of my hinge spacer. So the hinge spacer, if you have not seen this before, is something I designed actually before I even got the big Glowforge and started doing this, you know, kind of more, mine are totally covered in glue because I haven't washed them off in I don't know how long. So I've had the 1/2 inch and the 3/8 inch for a while. Basically, very first thing I put on my website when I started my shop. So I've added a 5/8 inch and a 3/4 inch. So the measurements are the gussets you're putting in between your pages. So when you're building your hinge, 1/2 inch is typically what I use. Occasionally I use 3/8 inch. Once in a while I use 5/8. I know there are some of you out there that do use 3/4 sometimes, especially like with bigger albums that you're like doing heavier pages that, you know, have more elements on them. So these are also out there available right now. I'm not going to demo those because you guys have seen those. Those are not anything that you haven't seen before. So let me go ahead and grab those links as well and drop those in the chat, because I've actually, the 5/8 I've been asked for quite a few times actually. So I'd had them ready to go. I just needed to test cut them and then actually like make them, which is always, you know, the part that takes a little bit longer. All right, so there is the 5/8 inch hinge. And then let me grab the other link here. Joy of doing all this alone. I have nobody to grab links for me, but that's okay. It happens. It's not a big deal. Should have made my husband come do it, but that's okay. Okay. So that is that. I did want to show, just because I haven't really done a walkthrough necessarily of these. The 3 kits that I posted last weekend are right here. So we have the backpack shaped mini album with National Park from Cartabella, envelope folio with the Cartabella Secret Garden paper, and then Echo Park Firefly super chunky mini. Okay, so we're gonna look through these really quickly, and then we will get to the farm album, because I know that is what you are all here for, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second. So my kits, as you know, if you have purchased one or you've been following along for the last couple of months since I started down this journey of, you know, going out on my own. I am not affiliated with anybody else. I'm still on Doodlebug's design team, but that's just design team. It's you know, there's nothing else to that. I am, everything that you see on my site, I am doing myself. I'm not getting product from somebody else. I am 100% sole business, just me. Okay. Just in case, you know, if you've heard anything differently or if somebody has asked you. So, kits are all inclusive. So you're getting your cardstock, your chipboard, any ribbon. In this case, with this kit, you are getting a pack of Prima flowers. You're getting the pattern paper, whatever embellishments that I've decided to use for a specific kit. Everything is included. You are literally providing tools and adhesive. That's it. You're not going to get a kit and have to go, oh, look, there's no ribbon. They used ribbon, but they didn't give us ribbon. Or, oh, they used a magnet here, but we don't have the magnets. You're getting all of that. So it does take me a little bit longer to kind of produce the kits, because I am tracking all of those things as I'm prepping them and putting them together, so that you're getting everything that you need to make the project. So this one, we do walk through how to make that little envelope. When you open this up, up here on the top, we have stacked pockets, one of them with an acetate frame in the front. Open this back up this direction. We've got a nice big photo mat and on a flap there. We've got another one of those notched pockets. I do walk you through how to do that. It is completely optional. You don't have to notch these pockets ever. In fact, you don't have to mat things the way I have matted them, because none of that is pre-cut ever. The exception is going to be the barn album, but we'll get to that. So this one, we've got, you know, our cute waterfall here. This one, I did one kind of different thing for me. You're getting half of a sticker book for this collection. When I went to order the product for this one, I had it figured out what I was going to do. I was going to do the sticker book rather than like the ephemera packs or whatever. And all I could get were half of the sticker books that I needed. I said, you know what? It's fine. They duplicate, like there's 16 pages and there's 2 of each. I'm like, I'll just split them, which normally is not what I would do, but I did do it with this one. And honestly, it was fine. And it helps keep the cost down for you guys if you are purchasing that. So down here, we've got just a tuck spot. We've got a big belly band down on this end. And then we've got a pocket flap. We have a nice little gusseted pocket with all of my extra cut aparts. Photo spot here. We've got, again, the window pockets and then more stacked pockets in the back. So that all folds up like so. And that is the Secret Garden album. The shaped backpack album, which is part of where I was like, I could do the barn album. If I can get the product, I can do the barn album. And I can get the product. I have to order the product. I haven't gotten that far yet. I was making sure. I'm still working out exactly, not working out how I'm going to do it. I'm still tweaking the design ever so slightly. Just fixing things that are a little much. Anyway, so this was what started it, because the National Park paper is so cute. And initially I was like, oh, I'll do like an album in a box, like a little suitcase. Then I was like, Jennifer, nobody but you is going to take a suitcase to a national park. you take a backpack because you hike and so on and so forth. Yeah. So there you go. So then it evolved, and I was like, but how am I going to do this? And then I was like, hello, you can use the laser to cut the chipboard. And it was easy, and it doesn't take a horribly long time. The actual cutting is like super fast. It's like resetting it in between is another story, but even then, it's still faster than the Cricut. So anyway, so on the front, we've got a nice accordion pocket with cut aparts. The back, we've got our little backpack straps with an insert underneath that. Inside, you know, there's nothing like earth-shattering in here, but it's still cute because it's a really, really fun paper. So again, magnets, you're getting your magnets, you're getting, you know, this one comes with the 12 by 12 collection, the matching solids, and 6 by 6 album pad, and ephemera, like an ephemera pack. The ephemera pack, I actually ended up not using a ton of it because about half the ephemera was very specific to like different parks, like the Arches one, Zion, and all that kind of stuff. So I left those purposely out, thinking that, you know, if you purchase the kit and, you know, you're actually, unlike me putting pictures in an album, because God knows I don't do that, you might want to put those ephemera pieces in more specific to where you've been. So that's what we did with that. So like I said, it's such a fun collection. That's just some little flaps on top of a belly band, and we've got a nice big flap back here with a pocket behind it, and then stacked pockets back here. So that is the backpack album. And the last one is going to be the absolutely chunky, like super chunky Firefly album. This one, you're getting the 12 by 12 solids, you're getting the chipboards, and you're getting the 6 by 6 mega pads. So the 6 by 6 mega pads from Echo Park have 48 sheets of paper. So you end up with 4, is it 4 each? No, 3 each of the 12 that are in the collection, and then there's like some that are like solids and like some different ones that you get. So this one, literally, I didn't really have much scrap wise with this one. This one used, well, I take it back, I had some of the solids left. I used most of the chipboards. I used most of the 12 by, oh, you're getting the 12 by 12 sticker. That's what else was with this one. You're getting your ribbon. So we've got our pretty, you know, gray dot ribbon here. On the inside, we've got an accordion pocket. We've got a flap with a big belly band underneath there for pictures. This one would make the cutest kind of not gender specific baby album. Honestly, I love this paper so much more than I thought I would. I thought it was cute like when I saw the pictures. In person, this paper is so cute and so much fun. Pocket there. We've got an insert here and a little pull out. And then we've got a pocket on top of a flap and then another flap. This whole little guy comes off. It's all magneted with magnets and then opens up like so. We got a nice little waterfall down here and stacked flaps. This one, actually, they're heavy enough. There's not a magnet or anything in there. You should have enough extra ribbon though. If you wanted to add ribbon to that, it would not be a problem. And then this one pulls out and out like so. This goes up and out, and then there's a belly band. And then this one, I love this page. You've got diagonal pockets with diagonal flaps. So just for something kind of fun and different. And then we've got another accordion pocket in the back. And then we've got a little pull out here and the flaps, and it all closes up like that. So those are all in the shop. If you want just the cutting guide, if you've got the paper, you know, you like the overall design of the album, but you want to use different paper, the cutting guides are also in the shop. They are linked on the, I think they're linked in the description. So, the barn album. The reason that you guys are all here. So, the original one, which is right here, as you can see, this thing has been handled and dinged up and whatever. I made this one almost 8 years ago. And I was at a Doodlebug event, like I had the idea. At the point that I made this one originally, I think I had done one mini album of my own design from scratch, weirdly enough, at another Doodlebug event. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I was like, okay, I'm not sure that I can do this without tutorials or whatever. So then I found, I went through and I did some other tutorials from some other people, and I watched lots of videos, and I made 2 or 3 albums, maybe 4 albums, using other people's tutorials. And then the next one I decided to design and do myself was this, because, let's make it as difficult as possible. Not difficult. I don't do anything the easy way. I never have. I don't know. It's a thing. But that's when I had done this one. Like, Cynthia at Doodlebug will still comment, and tell people, oh, have you seen Jen's barn album? Like, that's literally, what really got my YouTube channel kind of off and running was I had shared a walkthrough of this. At that point, I was not where I could do a tutorial. There was absolutely no way on earth I could do a kit or anything like this. So, that's just kind of where it has been. And I have been asked over and over and over again over the years if I have a tutorial, if I have an extra one to sell, if I have this, if I have that. And with doing that backpack album, I was like, okay, why couldn't I? Why couldn't I? If I can get this paper line still, which I can, I verified this last weekend before I went down this rabbit hole of, doing a big shaped album as a kit where the pieces of parts that you're going to have to cut and do are minimal. Most of this is going to be pre-cut, and this is going to be the exception as opposed to the norm with my kits, because I like having, you guys having the option of, you've got your full sheets of paper. You're not getting pre-cut, stacked up, oh, here, paste this here, because, I'm trying to teach you how to do something so that you can then take it and run with it. If you just go through and do it exactly how I've done, that's absolutely fine. But I absolutely love seeing, when you guys change stuff up. So, the original one has some issues. I didn't use good chipboard. Or not good chipboard. I didn't use good cardstock on this one. I had no idea at this point how much that factors into how your albums come out. And I do understand that now. It's a whole different thing. I did some weird things with pockets in here. So, this whole front section is so overstuffed, it's insane. And then I had the cute little insert back here, but my pocket was weird, so the matting on it is weird. There were a lot of areas to fix things. My magnets were not strong enough, because you can see how this pushes down in. This got dinged up, this got dinged up. This whole assembly over on this side, I honestly don't know what I was thinking, because this whole assembly on this side is an absolute disaster. So this part has been changed. The basic idea is there, but the execution is different. Aside from that, the only other changes really are just in the execution of how some of the elements on the pages are done. Because at the time that I made this one, I didn't totally grasp that you probably shouldn't be building a pocket with foam tape, for crying out loud. I shouldn't, you can't use odds and ends to build a pocket. There needs to be a base of some kind underneath. So that's what got fixed with this. Okay. So as you can see, this thing has gotten handled and banged up, and just there's a lot that needed corrected. Where it was a good idea, poorly executed. Okay. So, these guys got beat all to tarnation. So, the updated version is right here. We have, whoops, that wants to hold for me. I don't know why that doesn't want to hold now. Probably because my pages are touching each other in there. Okay, thank you, Coco. So, as you can see, one of the differences is we don't have this little cupola piece on the top on this piece, okay? That was one of the pieces that got just beat to tarnation with this thing being handled. You're getting excellent cardstock to make this with. It is my luxury linen cardstock. This is a new color I'm bringing in, Ferrari Red, luxury linen cardstock. This front piece, you will be doing the construction on this because none of this, other than the little barn door panels, is being cut for you. So this, of course, will be part of the tutorial. So the pages, as you can see, are a little bit different because then they're not as bulky, they're not as hard to put in, they're not as hard to mat, all of that stuff, okay? With this, you will get the full 6x6 paper pad, which is primarily what we're using down in here. And I did make these into little pockets because, I mean, why not? It's just the cutest paper. And then you've got your little insert back here. This one, I think I still need to tweak just a little bit more because it is still kind of tight. So this pocket is going to be a little bit different than what you're seeing right here, but it's the same basic idea. And then I've just got, you know, scraps left over from the matting that I cut on the inside there. Okay. So that whole section, this piece you will build entirely. The barn, the pieces to do the front part of the barn, the silo to do the barn, the back side of the barn are all going to be cut for you on the Glowforge. So they are going to be absolutely precision cut. One of the other things, and I don't, you can kind of, it's going to be hard to see on camera, but this was cut originally with the Cricut, okay? When you cut chipboard with the Cricut, the blade has to make several passes. So if you're using the deep cut blade with the Cricut, it's usually like 6 passes. So you cut that, and then you cut your cardstock that's going on top of it, and your cardstock is going to overhang the edge of that chipboard by about a 32nd of an inch, which isn't a lot, but it's enough to be annoying. And it's enough to get your edges dinged up a little bit and just make the overall matting kind of funky, okay? Doing all of this cutting for you with the Glowforge, these things are exact. They line up perfectly when you go to put these together, okay? So all of these little decorative elements to build your barn will be pre-cut. The chipboard will be pre-cut. The shaped pages on the inside, because initially I was going to do away with the shaped pages because they do kind of not necessarily waste the paper. On the Cricut, they wasted the paper. Again, doing this with the Glowforge, I'm able to line them up where I'm not having like all of this paper waste, okay? Which brings me to the next thing that we'll be doing with this one that's going to be a little bit different from how my kits normally go, okay? So your page bases are going to be cut for you because of course they're shaped, and the double matting on these will be cut as well. So there's a petite print and then the pattern paper on all of these, okay? So what you're going to end up with, and this is of course not the barn paper, but like, for example, if this were the petite print layer that's on here, this will be in a bag with the pieces that go with it. In a separate bag will be all of your extras like this, okay? So you'll have those petite print sheets that you have all of this that you can use for other matting, photo mats, so on and so forth, okay? So you're getting your sheet of paper with the piece you need that's the specialty cut out of it, but you're still going to get this rest of this, okay? For that second layer that's the patterned, we're doing the same thing, only that one was sized where with the Glowforge, because I don't have to, you know, leave such a border on the inside of it, I can actually get the 2 out of the 1. So you'll get, again, if this were, you know, the ones that go together, this will all be packaged together. These will be in a separate package within your kit. So a lot of the matting for different elements, like, you know, the shallower pockets and that kind of thing, you literally can cut them out of your leftover here, okay? And the reason we're doing it that way, as opposed to, you know, oh, I go through and I cut all this stuff and I either give it to you or I don't, and then I give you other full sheets, which in some of them you are getting other full sheets because there is a couple of them I used in multiple places, is just to cut down on the cost. Because this one, with the time that is going to take for me to cut this, is going to be a little bit higher priced than my other kits have been. Okay, just so you guys are aware, the laser cuts quickly, but there's a reset in between each sheet. I can't cut through multiple sheets at once, so I am doing one sheet at a time, and there's a little lag and reset. It's still faster than if I was to try to cut any of this with the Cricut. That's literally why I have not even considered doing this prior to now. Okay, so elements that are different. So, like, for example, this little pocket down here on the bottom in the original was just this border strip glued down as a pocket. It's not strong enough. You need that cardstock behind it. Okay, so you've got your belly band up here, you've got your little pocket that's the, you know, essentially a tuck spot down there. Over here we've got our insert with some odds and ends on it. We've got our little tractor doodle pop, which I'd used somewhere in the original one. This is not where he was originally. I liked him right here. Okay. The next page. So here's one of them where I had tried initially on the original album to build my pockets with the odds and ends pieces. It doesn't work. The newer odds and ends, which are on the really heavy cardstock that Doodlebug's been doing the last couple of collections, you'd probably be able to do this. I have matted the back. I have backed these with some white cardstock and then just cut exactly at the edges around them. I would suggest doing that. It does help reinforce them, but it's built on an actual pocket so that, you know, you're not trying to hold something in there with just this little tiny fence piece. Okay. Same thing over here. We've got an actual pocket that we have matted, and then we've got our odds and ends. So you're getting the odds and ends, you're getting the chit chat, you're getting mini icons, which is what these little tiny, oh, my little sticker that apparently didn't stick over here. You're getting the mini icons, you're getting the chit chat, you're getting the odds and ends, you're getting two doodle pops, if I can talk. This and that sticker sheet. You're getting a lot in this kit, and you're getting the twine that you're going to do around the edges if you choose to do it, which we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so in here, again, this was another one where I had taken a border strip and just glued it on the ends flat, and then it gets banged up, getting, you know, the little insert in and out. And this is why I'm redoing this. I have been going to rebuild this album just in general for my own purposes, just so I had one that hadn't been handled and beat up, and, you know, that kind of showcased what I've learned since I made this originally. I've been going to do it forever. I have been hoarding this paper for, like, I don't even know how long. And anytime I would see it, I would grab some more of it. And this one I'm actually sending to a friend of mine that I've been going to make her version of this for, like, forever. So I have someone I'm actually going to send this one to. But you guys are going to be able to get a kit to make this same album. So we've got our little doodle pop boy there. Again, this is another one where I had taken paper that was not strong enough and tried to make pockets and do different things. So this one, like, the overall layout's the same. The matting's slightly different, and it's just constructed in such a way that it's not gonna fall apart on you. Because I used tape on that. So that's the other thing that was crazy. I was, like, looking at something in it when I was doing this the other day, and I was like, did I literally use tape in this entire album? And I think I used, in places, I think I used, like, that ATG gun. Like, really? Like, oh, yeah. Insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, so this was one of my favorite elements in the old one. So we've got nice big flaps, and then you've got a little accordion pocket on top. This was one I had done it out of the pattern paper, and I didn't pay attention to direction. So like the blue pattern on the inside was upside down. Like why? Like what was I thinking? So things like that I have since learned better. Again, the pigs over here were another one where I tried to build a pocket with odds and ends. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It just no. And then we've got cut aparts. And then this was probably my next favorite element, was fussy cutting out this little blue jean square from one of the papers, and then having all these little farm animals popping out of the pocket and using the bandana from the 6x6 like hanging on the pocket. So there's a pocket back here, and then you've got all of these little guys, which again, these I would definitely recommend matting them on the white cardstock and cutting around them, because that will just work so much better. Okay, back here, again, this opens up. You've got a nice big picture spot here. This one doesn't have a lot of flaps. This is mostly pockets, because at the time I knew how to do, I knew pockets. I hadn't really mastered flaps yet. So, but you've got plenty of space, and two, because of how, you know, these pockets are being cut and scored for you, you can actually do tags to put in here if you wanted to, or tuck extra pictures in the pages, okay? My other one, they were sealed on all the sides. So, yeah, so then this is probably, over here is probably the biggest change. So I did these pages more like a waterfall, okay? Because they never turned right in the original version because they were way too thick. I had put everything way too far down on the hinge piece because I put a hinge over there and tried to do page assemblies, and it was just a mess. So this is the other probably biggest change to the overall project, and honestly, I think this is 1,000 times better. Okay. The last thing is going to be, because you have raw chipboard edges, which this is being cut out of black chipboard. So really it's fine, but I have always loved, when I do these shaped albums, to take that chunky doodle twine and run it along the outside edge of the chipboard. It covers up the raw edge. It gives it a really fun, you know, just element, you know, that draws your eye in. So you will be getting the chunky twine to do this step if you choose to. If you don't want to add it on there, I totally get it. It's not hard, but it's not like the easiest thing to do either. But I will walk you through in the tutorial again how to do this. So this will be going up for pre-order. As soon as this live ends, I will turn the link on. Pre-order, because the rest of my cardstock will be here, fingers crossed, on Tuesday. And then I need to place my order for the Doodlebug papers, which I will be doing tomorrow morning. So this will be going up for pre-order. Please, please, please don't put other things in your order with this. If you do, I will hold all of it until this one is ready to ship to you, okay? If you're fine with that, then by all means, put other stuff in there. Just know that the entire order won't ship until this is ready, okay? I'm hoping, fingers crossed, huge hoping, I should have these shipping the week of hopefully July 4th. If not, then that's what I'll be doing July 4th weekend, because I think my husband's going out of town. So, so the first couple of weeks of July, these should start going out. First order in is going to be the first kit out. So, there's that. But yeah, so that is the Barn album. I love the Barn album. It's still, even redoing this and making this I mean, normally I don't remake stuff, because like once I'm done with it, I'm done. I had more fun redoing this project than I can even tell you. I love it. It was so much fun. So yeah. Any questions? Anybody? Let me go and grab a link. Yeah, Lynn, you're not the only person to tell me. When I posted the short little reel with it the other day, I had messages from like 10 different people going, "Oh my god, you're finally doing it." Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but it's finally happening, and I am so excited. So excited. Okay, I'm dropping you the link. It is live, and yeah. So I was gonna maybe like play with some cards, work on a card or two, and honestly, I'm out of energy. All I have done. How do I use the album? Oh, the album spacer covers, RJ. Um, yeah, Lynn, seriously, like they're just the normal cover spacers. So if you haven't seen them, like when you're building your normal album, what makes mine different is they're clear and they're upside down. They are clear. They are marked so you know what piece goes where. So your top spacer is your top spacer is your top spacer. When you're doing your cover, you have your cover spacer. When you're doing your spine, you have your spine spacer. The measurement is on there. They're marked, showing you exactly which piece you're using where. So yeah, so those are on the website, ready to ship any minute now. Yeah, so that's the cover spacer. Thank you, Christy. Yeah, it's handy because, let me grab it back out. What I found I really kind of had an issue with, particularly building covers, especially if you're using like a heavier pattern paper like Cartabella, was making, and you want it to make sure it's straight, is you can at least see under here that yes, everything is pushed up into the corner before you go in there and you drop your chipboard down to wrap it. I mean, it just makes the whole process easier. And you're not having to try to remember, what measurement goes where for what. It's literally on the spacers for you. So yeah, that's the spacers. And I showed you how that's gonna come. So like here, where's another one? Oh, there's another piece here. There it is. So like here's chipboard that I've cut to get started on this. Oh, and your spine on this side is set in. Okay. So we will go through that. And one of the cool things with the way I have done this one, you don't have to do that reinforcement piece that you typically do with the lay flat cover method, because I have cut into your matting that exactly fits your chipboard where you're going to slide the end edge of your spine, like the wings on your spine. Okay. So that this is lined up exactly where it needs to be, because this does open up where it overlaps on this backside. No, they're not. Well, they're new in that I kind of redesigned them in a way that I thought made more sense. That's all. Yeah, so this back spine, or the front back covers do overlap, which is why this little like overhang is gone on this corner, because they hit each other, they get dinged up, it doesn't work. I actually had taken scissors to that on my original one years ago because it bugged the crap out of me. So that has been fixed. Just lots of weird little things like that with this have been fixed. So yeah, so the cardstock's all cut where you're going to build your spine, and it's going to slide underneath there, and that's going to reinforce it enough, and then you're good to go. So the joys of doing some of this stuff with the laser that it's really hard to do with just a ruler and a paper trimmer. So yeah, if anybody has any other questions that I can answer, otherwise I will let you guys get back to your Sunday. Like, yeah, exactly, like on the backpack album. Exactly. yeah, so if you watch the tutorial for the backpack album, which is now live, it there's like a little slit that's cut in there to slide those the wings for your spine in to reinforce them, and then two, so that they sit in a little bit and you can have that cover that opens flat along the back side of them. So yeah, yep, exactly like that. So I did the same thing on this one, and works out really well actually. I'm really liking how that works in that case, because that's exactly what you need to do the shaped album. So there will probably be other shaped albums coming at some point, but for right now, it's just this guy. Well, and the backpack one, but yeah, so down the line we'll have to see. It depends on the collection. It depends on if it's something, you know, that I think it's gonna be, you know, fun to do without making it too hard. So I can tell you, this one, to actually put this one together, is not difficult at all. Like, not at all. So so yeah, there you go. And I'll go ahead and, you know, let you guys get back to your Sunday afternoon. I have chicken thawing upstairs that I need to go check and see if it is thawed, so I can throw it in the fridge for a bit. And just get ready for the week ahead, because it's gonna be busy. I will be cutting albums. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. And I will see you guys all again soon.